Hi, I'm Gil Gershoni.
And welcome to Dyslexic Design Thinking!
During South by Southwest 2026 in Austin, we had an opportunity to sit down with a group of remarkable students from Rawson Saunders School, a school dedicated to children with dyslexia. Let's jump in. Well, you know what I wanted to do today is I wanted to first start by each one of you telling me your name, just first name, and your age.
My name is Fred, and my age is 10.
My name is Parker, and my age is 10. My name is Julian, and I'm 11.
I'm Sydney, and my age is 10.
Hi, Sydney.
I'm Isabel, and I'm 9.
Hi, Isabel.
I'm Gianna, and I'm 10.
Hi, Gianna. Nice to have you guys here today.
I'm Rosie, and I'm 12. I'm Henry, and I'm 13.
Hi, Henry.
I'm Lev, and I'm 13.
Hi, Lev. Nice to meet you guys. What do you love to do? What gives you most joy?
I like to dance and
You like to
sing
dance?
and do art. Helping other people.
Helping other people? You love to do that too? What do you love about helping other people?
It just goes to show you that a small thing can really make a person's day. So something small that might not be a lot for you can feel like a life changer for somebody else. So just doing kind things that you know will make somebody smile when they see it or when they get it, it just makes me feel better.
It's just peaceful when you move a brush or a pencil across a piece of paper, and when you finish it, you're just like, it's done, and I did it, and it looks good, and you can see it. And sometimes even in other people's houses, you can see, like, your art. And I don't get that same satisfactory with dance and singing.
I like sports, soccer, just kind of being outside, trampoline. That's always fun. I know everyone else here, I think, enjoys Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
I like to build stuff like Legos.
Yeah. What do you like about building stuff in Legos?
I just feel like my calming space when I just have I just picture something in my mind like I want to build that, and then once I'm finished, like I did this.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah. And when you visualize in your mind, is it a full picture of it?
Yeah, like
with all the details.
Yeah, like flats. I like to build cities, shops. Like I'm just gonna picture them in my mind. I'm like, okay, that piece there, that piece there.
And then you try to recreate it in the real world, right? But you already know what it's gonna look like. I love that. I can do the same thing.
I like to do art.
You like to do art?
Yeah.
What kind of art?
I like to draw.
Storytelling. I think the points of the imagination. I think storytelling comes naturally to me. As a fun thing to do or as a way to explain to myself something.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a tool. It's also a skill that can be used to just either create a world or just have fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how do you express your storytelling?
Well, recently in school, I've joined a screenwriting class, which has been helpful for my storytelling. There's some ways that I wish I could think about my stories more. Maybe I record them or write them down, but mostly they're just in my head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What would be your theme song for your brain?
I listen to these songs that go in my head. They stay in my head.
Yeah.
Then and then it's like I have headphones on, but I don't have headphones.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, probably everything is awesome sometimes because
I love that song. Yeah. Why do you like that song? Why does that represent your brain for you?
Because it's happy and it has a lot of energy and it gets me pumped. I don't know. Like I think like a rock song or something like very like upbeat, but also like at parts like lower because like I feel like in dyslexic mind it's so much like ups and downs to like a rock song because it can go from like really loud to like really quiet.
Yeah.
I like to just listen to the quiet.
What animal do you identify with?
Well, I'd say a bunny because I feel like I'm kind of this, like, if I know a person and I'm really comfortable around them, I just have a lot of energy and I'm like just happy and I feel safe. But then whenever I'm around something that I like don't know and it's confusing, sometimes I'll be like scared to admit, like, honestly, I don't know what that is.
Raccoon, because
Raccoon.
you're like always scavenging for something to do. Like, if I'm in math class and I reach inside my desk, I grab my boss and I have this little fuzzy thing on it, I could just be like, okay, I'm a raccoon and I want fuzzy. They're like always working with their paws. They're like,
digging through trash, like trying to find something to fiddle with.
Any animal that's really crazy and calm at the same time, I feel like that would be what dyslexia is. Because for everyone it's different, but I feel like for most people it makes them a little bit more hyper and a little bit more calm at times. And so maybe like a panda when it's calm, and maybe like a big cat or something, like a lion or something.
My animal, I think, would maybe be like a fox because, like, they are really smart, but they also like stuff like hunting chickens. They're really smart of like, okay, so that's right. The chicken's right there. So if I go that way,
there's a
yeah,
fence
probably
there.
Yeah, there's a fence there. So I think I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to go under that or jump over that, but that would be hard. So I think I'm gonna go under that and like plan their head before they do it, and then just goes basically.
An octopus.
Octopus.
They're smart. I feel that they can kind of work their way around a problem. They have no bones, so they can be very adaptive and flexible. I think they have good, they're cunning. They can see a problem, solve a problem.
When you guys trying to figure something out, what happens in your mind?
When I was in kindergarten and I looked at the word cat, all I could see was one little curve and then some kind of line that I maybe thought was an airplane. And then the T I probably saw as a cross.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw it as.
Like, sometimes in science class, I get lost because sometimes they talk about something else and I don't know when it's time to get back into the next thing. So I just picture something like, for example, maybe riding on a magic carpet to fly somewhere or something. You can picture that.
I know.
Or you're picturing motorcycles on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that, but you can't see that.
Right.
In my mind, I like pictures the different steps, and then I'm like, okay, which one goes first? Because usually when I think of the steps, I think of the last step first, and the first step last.
I kind of feel like I have always been able to see both things. So right now, I'm thinking of it. So I can see you. I can see you on this table. I can see you looking at me. But around you, right there, now I am picturing, let's say, a bunny hopping around in here. I'm picturing, I don't know why, just right in ALT. And then the thing is, I can see both and listen to both. So the thing is, I can talk about that one in my head. So I can like re-illustrate that. And then that one I can re-illustrate in my head. But the thing is, with the voice, I can't do the voice in my head and listen to you and focus on both. But the weird thing is, I can with images. So it kind of feels like I can just move around images. So sometimes I'll be like, and people would be like, why are you doing that? I'm like, because there's stuff everywhere. And they're like, there isn't stuff everywhere. It's a green field. And I'm like, there's a screen right there showing one show and a screen right there showing another.
When I was littler, like 6 or 5-ish, I spent, I think, like 30 minutes trying to spell out the word can. And my dad got so frustrated because he thought I just was guessing. But it's really hard when you don't have the proper learning methods and proper skills. It's really hard to know what the words mean. And with proper help, it can become easy and like a muscle memory to you.
When you guys learning something new, what helps you click? How do you sort of get yourself ready to learn some new information?
So I can listen to my teacher, Miss Balkube, and she'll be like, okay, give me a presentation about hydroelectric energy. Right there, I have eyes in the back of my head right now.
Right.
I can see a spinning motor. I can see a spinning, I don't know, something.
Right.
It's just...
So you're almost using your visualization to learn.
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
You're listening to something in class and usually touching something or like running my hand around my watch or like I'll do this in the middle of class and then or it's that. For some reason, it kind of just pulls me back into what I'm doing.
I do a similar thing. Whenever I find that imagination or the voice in my head happens and I want to be more present, I just make sure my feet touch the ground. So I've learned to kind of regulate how my brain plays with the world around me, Does that make sense?
Yeah, you just reminded me of 2 things we learned in school. One, regulation says sometimes your emotions get the best of you, when we were learning different ways, like a fidget or a deep breath on how to regulate.
Yeah.
And we learned a way to do that. And then also hyperfocus.
Yes.
I have ADHD, which causes me to hyperfocus a lot.
What do you wish teacher understood better about kids who learn like we do?
Maybe they need to understand that it's hard to get my head out of the clouds.
Teachers kind of expect you to do it quickly.
Yeah.
At Dyslexic, at my other school, I was doing it as best as I could.
I think probably maybe at my old school, I feel like with that, when I say, when I was terrified of ginormous books. When my teacher, she loved books. She's like, oh my God, I love this thickness of books. I was like, keep that away from me.
I would say speak to the student, figure out what helps them, and then try and implement that as much as you can. I'm gonna add on a little bit to what Rosie said. If the teacher hasn't taught dyslexics before, what advice would you give them? I think that asking the students is a great idea. It tells you what they hope you provide, and it also helps give you an idea of how they learn and how they act. So if there's a teacher who is new and doesn't really know what to do, I'd definitely tell them a way you can help them, tell them the way you learn, tell them the way you would learn best and stuff like that.
Imagine somebody's listening to our podcast right now and they just found out that they had dyslexia. What would you tell them?
Yeah, dyslexic is such a special thing. Yeah. And it is. It has so much goodness. Other people they talk so they just talk so mean about it. There's nothing wrong with dyslexia. It's actually a strength. It's strength, and basically, it was actually. I think it's actually better than being normal, because dyslexic actually no one is normal in dyslexic. But
No offense, y'all. No offense.
Yeah,
No offense. No offense.
but that's our opinion.
I feel like I would tell them that it doesn't make them less. It actually makes them more creative. It doesn't make them less able to comprehend. It makes them more creative, and their creativity helps them comprehend what they are learning. Yeah. Depending on how old they are, if they're older, I might give them a little bit more of older advice. But if they're younger, which most people are when they get diagnosed with it, I would say just think of it as a superpower. It's not a disability, like you said. It's more of a ability, and it helps you see in different ways, and it helps you learn in different ways that other people would never know. And I would tell them this, and I would reassure them that it's all going to be okay. And I know that with the proper help, yeah, there's not really a way to not do well with it. It's a great thing to have in my eyes.
I think I would tell them that it's a struggle, but once you get past that kind of self-doubt or the fact that if you realize what dyslexia is early on, you can realize that, oh, you might think this is going to be really bad. I won't be able to read. But it's truly something that can help you.
Do you guys have a question for me?
But yes.
Yeah.
How
You wanna
did
go?
you get over your dyslexia and start like figuring everything out?
That's a great question. I never got over my dyslexia. You know why?
Why?
Because my whole brain is dyslexic. Everything I do is dyslexic. I can imagine because I'm dyslexic. I can create because I'm dyslexic. I can be present with you right now. Do you feel it? Like we're right here, really grounded together. And that's my dyslexia. So instead of getting over it, what I've learned, and you guys are already doing at your age, is to have a relationship with it. And to have a conversation with the way you imagine and the way you see the world and learn, even though you think so fast, sometimes can we slow it down? How do we explain our ideas to people that are not dyslexic? And that took most of my life. I'm still doing it. But I never want to get rid of my dyslexia, because that's who I am,
I was wondering, how has your dyslexia affected you as a child? And did it affect you in a way that made you more successful or made it harder to become successful?
Great question. So as a child, dyslexia was very difficult for me because they didn't know how to help me. And most people didn't know how to teach for dyslexic kids. So I really struggled. And then, as I got older, I realized that all my struggles made me like really good at certain things. I didn't know that, but I developed the ability to visualize, to memorize, to tell stories without needing to write them down, because I can, even though I'm talking to you right now, I can see the rest of the story, right? And I can almost do these at the same time. I didn't know that, right? So as I got a little older, I started to realize that what I thought was my disability actually was my ability, like you said.
How did you feel when you learned you were dyslexic, and did you go to a school that had good accommodations for kids with dyslexia? And if so, what were they?
So for the first 5 or 6 years, no. They didn't have any accommodation besides just try harder. And then I did find a tutor that knew a lot more about it. And then she started to sort of help me with different ways of grounding myself in the room, be able to read and not let the letters jump around and move around through different, methodologies and things like that. And that really started to help. But it took a long time, I still struggle reading and writing and spelling, but I have a lot to say, so I don't think that matters.
But how did you feel when you first learned you were dyslexic? Like when you first
I was,
got diagnosed?
because when I first learned I was dyslexic, that was sort of a good thing because I didn't know what was going on and why it was so hard for me to learn like everybody else. So all of a sudden there was a name for it, so that kind of helped. It still didn't change anything. You just because you have dyslexia, but that was about it. But it did help to know what was going on in my body, in my brain.
Do you ever still have problems with reading or figuring out
Absolutely.
stuff?
Absolutely. Every time I read, and I just accept it. So you know what I do? I read slower. I read it twice. Sometimes I listen to it, with audio. So it really, if I listen to it, I don't forget it. Or if I see it, I don't forget it. It's almost like photographic memory. So I just find ways around it. Because reading, to me, is just a way to learn. And you can learn in many different ways. The same story, you can see a movie, you can read it, somebody can tell you about it, you can make it out of Legos. All of those are different ways of learning. And I just learn differently.
It never
Yeah.
ends.
Yeah. It never ends because our brain always does it again and again and again. We always see it for the first time again, but it's different, you know? So for me, some of the challenges outside of school when I was younger was that I didn't know that. I didn't know that that was what's going on. So it was happening to me. You know, you guys already have a relationship with it. So you can talk about it, right? I couldn't talk about it because nobody told me that. You know, and then when I got a little older, I started to realize, just like you, what can I do in order to feed my dyslexia? Sometimes I want to see 1,000 images, and sometimes I just want to focus on just one part of that I'm doing. So I've learned to either fidget or put my feet on the ground or take a deep breath so I can be present and hyper-focus about what I'm doing. And sometimes I want to turn my dyslexia all the way up to, 10, because I want to see everything all at the same time. So I've learned to kind of regulate how my brain plays with the world around me, Is there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap up?
Dyslexia is a superpower.
Dyslexic is strong. I love it.
Same here. Same here.
Awesome job, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming today and sharing in all your thoughts. I think it's going to really help a lot of kids around the world to hear your perspective and your view. And hopefully it's going to make it a little easier for them and they can find also their gifts,
If you enjoyed our conversation today, be sure to subscribe to this series wherever you get your podcasts. Visit dyslexicdesignthinking.com to learn more about our latest initiatives, including Dear Dyslexia, the Postcard Project, or to book Gil to speak at your next event or conference. Stay connected on Instagram at Dyslexic Design Thinking, or drop us a line at dyslexic@gershoni.com to receive our monthly newsletter and learn more about our upcoming programming. Dyslexic Design Thinking is produced by Gershoni Creative. Until next time, be well.